round 2 or round 3, I believe. I am the second seed, or third. I'm the second seed going into top 8, which means I get to choose to be on the play for the first game, which is sweet. It's awesome that Arena implemented that functionality. Also, the Direct 3 best of 3 with Sideboard Direct Challenge has been quite superb today. Super happy with that. So, hopefully gonna be looking for Llanowar Elves and Wildgrowth Walker draws, game 1 on the play, and then post board we get pretty interactive with the Lava Coils and such. Hopefully we keep running hot and see if we can maybe go further than the quarterfinals for a change. I think, maybe? Best of 3, I won the coin flip challenge. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. It's not gonna do it. This hand is not particularly good, but I think it's a keep. I guess it gets Growth Chambers going. The Climb could get Spell Pierce, but even just 2/2 Krasis is good in this matchup. Collision's actually quite good here. It's just like a 2-mana removal spell. Deals 6 to a creature with flying. Yep. Mistcloak Herald, one of their better features because we can block it, obviously. It also notably does not die to Collision, so if they strap up their what's it called here, we could be in trouble. Yep. These are the scary draws. Hopefully they miss a land here and we get to just be aggressive. If they don't Spell Pierce this, we should be in a good spot. Yeah, because this just kind of starts a chain now. So this triggers this, which gives me a 3/3, which lets me go get a friend. So they have one of their better openers, but they didn't have a second land. So one of the things I like about this deck in this matchup is that we can actually beat them with these type of draws just by like putting a lot of pressure into play, which is nice for us. Oh, I forgot I have access to their deck list. I should probably pull that up. So this gets to go get another friend, unless they do this, I guess. I guess if they do this, I don't get to go get a friend. Because this removes its ability. So this still gets bigger, but I don't get to find another Guardian this turn. You know, I wonder if that was a mistake. I probably should have played this one out pre-combat into that, but like now the upside is next turn I can adapt this and then have a 4/4 and a 5/5, which is kind of nice. I didn't use my mana efficiently last turn, though, because of this, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to go ahead and block here. And I'm going to go ahead and just use this Colossus to pump my thing. This lets them Spell Pierce me, but it lets me get a good... lets me, like, use my mana this turn, which is ideal. So we still trade off here unless they have a dive down. And next turn, I actually get to go... flip the Hadana's Climb, because it's going to have 3 counters, and like land and play Krasis for 4, which is kind of ideal. Buffers our health total and gives us a good step up in the race. So like they've got a lot of cards in their hand here, but their cards generally don't interact with our board. They have one copy of Blink of an Eye. If they don't have Blink here, we should be in a very good spot. So that means they don't have Blink. Okay, they're gearing up to try and race, and our creatures just being really large should make racing pretty difficult for them. one more friend. And this is just going to come down as a 4/4 trample flying creature. Yep, just let this happen. There might be merit to pumping there, but I think gaining some life and getting a flying blocker down is pretty valuable here. Ooh, that's potentially very good next turn. Just as, like, it gives trample too, so it's going to let us punch through, which is nice. I also have enough mana to Colossus plus Winged Temple something here, which is great. So, like, if they, like, tap out for Temptation, I can, like, make this 9 and then make it 18 with Flying and Trample. The old Flampler, if you would. So I'd really love for them to tap out for a bunch of creatures here. Huh. I don't think I'm supposed to play that into a counterspell here. Yep. So that's going to kill that. They're going to go to 8, and then I'm going to go ahead and that was why we didn't jam the Ravager Wurm there. I'll play 2 Growth Chamber Guardians out here, and then I've got 4/4 attackers, 4/4 or larger attackers happening next turn. Because I can adapt both the Growth Chamber Guardians. I don't have any more Guardians to go fetch up, but the Guardians here will still turn into 4/4s when I pay 3 mana for them. This game was a great example of just, like, being able to race them with pressure. Like, my opponent's hand is full because of Curious Obsession, but they've been choked on mana, so they just haven't been able to deploy their cards to the board. I assume they need, like, land double Merfolk Trickster to not be dead here. Alright, well, they're currently dead to attack all double adapt, so... I don't think they have any cards in their 75 that's there in their 60 that stop this. They're just making me go through the motions. They shouldn't have attacked with this. I think they're in trouble regardless here, but it doesn't really matter. If I got, like, cheeky and used the Winged Temple here, they could use a dive down to save this, but doesn't really. We're not going to do that. So yeah, I'm looking at their deck list here, and there are no cards here that save them from this. I'm just going to take 8 and die. Even if they did have something random here that could save them, these are trading. This is dying, and I just have a bunch of lethal attackers in play. All right, quick game 1. Ravager Wurm comes out here. Zegana comes out here. Oh, I want my Krasis. It's harder to put things in between spots in this application now. Those come in, and that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's all I do. 2 worms, and a 2 worms and a Zegana out, 3 Lava Coils in. Pretty happy with that. Climb is good on defense, in addition to being good on offense and making combat really awkward for them. None of the cards really play. Like, these cards both have relevant text boxes, but, like, they're just so much mana that they get, like, Spell Pierced and Dive Down, and Wizard's Retort. It just feels real bad to lose that much tempo, so I just want to be incredibly efficient here. Especially when we're on the draw and they're going to be able to have a fast start. Post board, they have 2 Deep Freeze, 3 Surge Mare, 2 Exclusion Mage, and 2 Entrancing Melody. So they're actually, I think they're going to board a lot of cards here from game 1 to game 2, but I don't know that for sure. We'll see. A lot of cards that can tempo us. Looking for Elves and Wildgrowth Walker starts as well as removal spells. Well, I mean, that's one of those things I just asked for, right? Pretty easy mulligan here. This hand is not stellar, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna bottom that actually. I would like lands or explore creatures here. Discard top. That's scary. There's a good chance that that collision just doesn't resolve anyways, and I really want to try and hit my lands on time here. If they counterspell this, that's great for us. It's not doing anything at the moment. Probably see a Trickster here, tap this down, I'd assume. Wow, just nothing, huh. Just gonna like play Naked Djinn? Nope. Huh. Things are not looking good for our hero. This is why we play best of 3. You know, sometimes magic happens. The attack's a little bit medium here if they have a Merfolk Trickster, but if they had a Merfolk Trickster, interesting, huh? Okay, I guess they wanted to save the Trickster in case I had an Explore creature this turn to deny me. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They saved the Trickster because they wanted to turn off the ability on this if I had an Explore creature. Looking for Merfolk Branchwalker here would be our absolute best draw. I'm gonna make sure this resolves before I attack with both of these. If this doesn't resolve, I'm only gonna attack with one of these. In fact, I'm still only gonna attack with one. I think if they have another Merfolk Trickster, I want to be able to, yeah, I want to be able to bump. Even attacking with this one might be wrong, honestly. Yeah, that might be, like, this, the 1 point of damage just has such low upside, and taking the extra 2 points of damage on this combat step is, like, really bad for us, so I think that attack might have been wrong. I could be 4 points of life higher right now if I'd have been more conservative in attacks this game, which is a lot of health. Magic. That's fine. We've had a lot of good beats today. We'll take the third one on the play. Obviously not done and gone yet, but we probably need to draw like Merfolk Branchwalkers, like next 4 cards. So I assume the first one's getting countered. Yeah, alright. I assume there's like 0% of this results. So need to draw another Branchwalker this turn. Yikes. Alright, yep. Need to have a Branchwalker and them not to have a counterspell. If I draw a Branchwalker, we do gain 6. We want to draw like a Branchwalker into a land would be ideal. Like the way to get back in that game there is like draw Branchwalker, hit 3rd land, and then draw Jadelight the following turn. But alas, sometimes it is not in the cards. Let's take the next game on the play. Drawing all 4 Krasis that early feels really bad, but I think Krasis is good enough as a 2/2 and even a 1/1 sometimes. That's worth keeping in. We actually won one of the games we played earlier in this matchup because we played 2 Krasis as 1/1s. It's kind of sweet. Alright. Since for all the bananas, it's the 2nd game we've lost today, so let's try and not put our first match loss in the top 8. That would be bad. That's usually how my beats go. Run well in the Swiss and then put the first loss in the quarters. That was the last Open I top 8 did. Went 13-0 in the Swiss and then promptly lost in the quarters. Just the beats sometimes, that darn cumulative variance catching up with me. We used all of our good beats up already today apparently. Terramander's really impressive in the blue deck. The fact that it just like gives it something else to do when the deck is flooding is super strong. Like the fact previously the deck like only had Temptation as a way to really close games out, and Terramander definitely gives it a little bit more oomph than it had, a little bit more consistency in its oomph, I should say. Also, like the fact that it doesn't die to Lava Coil like Temptation and the rest of the blue threats do is also a big deal once it's popped off, especially against our deck with Lava Coil in it. I probably should have mulliganed my 6 last game. It's very possible. I should have gone lower. Let's focus on the next game now. This hand is very good. Speaking of focusing, this hand is great. We're gonna go Shock, Elf, tapped land, Wildgrowth Walker, and then hopefully run from there. don't leave up, if they leave up 2 mana on 2, I'm probably going to just play Hadana's Climb. If they don't leave up 2 mana, we will just go to town with the Jadelight Ranger. Yeah, 2 mana not only counters my spells, but it also Merfolk Tricksters and taps the Wildgrowth Walker, which is a big deal. Getting a Spell Pierce here I think is good for me. I played the land out beforehand, so that way if they counter this, or I can put a counter on this and then like attack for 3 this way. We do in fact have a Merfolk Trickster. So this is why I elected to not jam an Explorer creature in here, because getting a hit in with the, or getting a Wildgrowth Walker trigger with the Jadelight Ranger is a big deal. I didn't attack last turn because I didn't want to take this trade, so. Man, please. Oh, this is perfect. So I actually get to go Jadelight Ranger, which puts 2 counters on the Wildgrowth Walker. So even if I miss on a land here, I get to flip the Hadana's Climb by targeting the Wildgrowth Walker, and then this attack lets me, this as the extra mana, lets me use this on the Tempest Shin while they are tapped out, which is really sweet for us. So we're back up to 20, and they lost their big threat. If we can avoid land into Entrancing Melody, we're going to be very far ahead. If they have Entrancing Melody here, we're still kind of okay. So I'm going to lead on Wildgrowth Walker. They know about this Jadelight Ranger. This. I wonder if they hit the Entrancing Melody. Then getting a giant walker is much less good if they hit the Entrancing Melody. Maybe I'm not supposed to trade here just because I would like to have a 4/3 left over for my climb afterwards if they take my Wildgrowth Walker. Again, if they don't have Entrancing Melody, we're in a very good spot. And if they do, we're in a lot of trouble. They're mousing over my thing. Mousing over all my things. Maybe they're just reading it to like figure out the Winged Temple math. Winged Temple is very, very good. Bottoms up is potentially very good for us. Looking, this is the point where we had those 4 Hydroid Krasis in hand last game. This is where we want to draw Hydroid Krasis. We have 3 instants and sorceries in here. 3, yeah. Gerrymander's getting a little scary. Curious Obsession, sure. Here, dig in. What blockers do you have? You have an Exclusion Mage, maybe? Exclusion Mage could be okay here. It would set the Wildgrowth Walker back to my hand and reset its power and toughness, which is good for them. They have 2 of those in their sideboard. Opt. That's probably very good for us. They bottomed. They need a blocker here or they're dead. They could have a bounce spell. We did have that happen to us earlier today. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and attack with everything here. Oh wow, they're just dead. Okay. All right. Well, I guess they had nothing. All right. Well, into the semis. Let's keep running good, I suppose. Thanks for watching out. Thanks for hanging out, folks.